Hello, and welcome back to Jim Henson's Labyrinth, the adventure game. We join our intrepid heroes from the Flintlocks and Fireballs team as they have made their way through hell and high water, or rather just a sewer, which is kind of both really, to get to the Goblin City and infiltrate. So we have Jason playing Mrs. Worm.
Hello.
We have Ellie playing Sir Robin.
Hi.
The cowardly cat. We have Sam playing Scrog.
Hi.
The pointy goblin. And we have Robbie playing Leaf.
Hello.
The friendly and mossy beast.
Thorny now.
Thorny, yeah.
Thorny beast.
But, so as you sort of wipe yourself off from the sewer water and general grime of the city, you notice just around the corner a shop. A shop that has Goblin Boutique. Written in big letters above the door.
Oh, my favourite.
But, so it's up to you whether you want to sort of bypass it or dive straight in, maybe search for something.
What can we see through the window?
I just can't see us going past the Goblin Boutique, if I'm honest.
So inside, you will see lots of very finely made mannequins, but no two are the same shape or size, such as goblins are. And each one is wearing the height of goblin fashion, which is mostly battered pieces of metal, rags of leather, the odd piece of chainmail to accentuate any outfit. You'll know that this is one of the finest, if not the only, store in town for getting all of your wardrobe and wardrobe accessories from.
I could get a disguise. They're looking for me.
That's a good idea.
It could not look like me. Then they wouldn't be able to find me.
Is there anywhere selling eau de cologne?
Yes, but it's spelled odor cologne.
It's not going to help.
It's literally just bottled stench water.
Yeah.
Which, depending on your perspective, might actually be a description of normal cologne.
Yeah, it's just like not a bad stench.
Yeah.
Depending on the cologne in question.
So those tiny spiked chains would go really well with this outfit. So I think
we all
that
have spikes. Just saying. Some of us have spikes. Spikes look useful.
there are 50% spikes at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More spikes.
Although some of mine are bent now.
Oh dear. Maybe
I
we should
could
get
have a
more
disguise.
spikes. Yes. Do you
Would
like
you do-
disguises?
Yes.
Good.
Would you remember why you had one?
No.
That'd be fun anyway.
Yes.
It's very cunning because if they don't remember their disguise, no one will...
Let's go
Wait.
in the boutique.
So as you push the door, it has quite a lot of resistance, and as soon as you sort of get the door open, you see why, as the little bell above the door is actually about the size of a volleyball. It gives a proper dong, 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 which does attract the attention of the shopkeep. He has a powdered wig. He looks like he might be walking on stilts, but he's doing a good job of disguising it if he is. It has a filthy doublet, and he bursts out, says, customers! Oh, no.
What do you mean, no? Do we do something wrong? Are we in trouble?
Why, yes! You did practically everything wrong!
I know, right? Just on my little soup pod.
Come, we must get you sorted out. You look positively
Could you
ravished.
make it so that I was completely unrecognisable from what I am now?
when I'm finished, my dear.
Great. Yes, here for this. Let's do it.
And he pulls you into the shop and starts diving around, clacking on his stilts. Every so often, the shelving sort of high up, he will sort of reach down and pull a lever at his hip, and his stilts will sort of extend upwards, so he can get something from a tall shelf. Then he'll ratchet himself back down again, and he will sort of go to you and drape over sort of a piece of chainmail. Oh, no. Throw it across the room, and it will clank heavily into the far wall. He'll start sort of messing around, seeing if says, who does this suit? These fine boots, spring heel, you know, but very in this season, very in. Who thinks spring boots?
It's a shame you don't have feet because you love spring things now,
Well,
don't you?
you
You don't have any feet.
you're good at jumping. You could be super good at jumping.
Could be super good at jumping. Yes, spring boots. Why not?
Spring boots for you,
Yes.
and we must find a glove for that hand. I think I have something at the back.
Amazing.
A very large glove.
Is it fingerless? Do you have to stitch in like a mouth hole?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh,
He doesn't return with a fingerless glove. What he
It's
returns
like
with
putting a muzzle on a dog.
is 5 helmets, none of which match each other, and starts strapping them onto his knuckles of the
that's
of
kinda
Handy.
cool.
In addition, he will find. Now these are the tightest trousers known to man or goblin. Tightest trousers.
Mm.
I don't have trousers.
No,
Do you want trousers?
Yes.
Excellent.
oh, that's perfect.
I think they're no longer tight trousers, but they are just ragged pieces of cloth
Incredible
that
Hulk style.
as you tear them over yourself.
Do you think his head goes all the way to the top of the hair?
Yes.
Why, of course.
You must be
And,
very, very smart.
He catches sight of himself in a mirror and goes, rushes off, grabs what you can only assume is flour and starts powdering
It's like
himself.
talcum powder.
Then he'll rush up to you, Scrog, and start sort of taking a tape measure, measuring each of your spikes. Says, no, won't do. These two same length, won't do.
I haven't had a chance to get to the blacksmith recently.
And he will hammer them out carefully so that they are still bent, but in a far more couture way.
Well, some of them are now bent back, so they have a kind of S shape.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They look pretty.
After he's finished, you are sort of suited in random pieces of leather and rusty metal.
I would like something that would cover my face a bit. And I wish to be disguised.
Oh, yes, just the thing. And he will return with a great long masquerade mask in the shape of a pheasant.
Ooh.
How do I look?
Just the face of a pheasant, to be clear.
Not like
Right,
all
yeah.
pheasants.
All pheasants.
Yeah, we are in the Labyrinth to clarify this thing.
I like birds.
Good.
Yeah.
Excellent. Maybe other people will like birds.
So while all this has been going on, I've just been ransacking his shop for like tiny bits and bobs and needed. And you said before I'd like this this lovely green ball gown dress, right? So I'll roll for it if I have to. If you want, I've been modifying it so now it's this sort of punk princess Mad Max style.
I love it.
Look.
Amazing.
I've adapted the bonnet. Like I've got a new bonnet with spikes on.
I love it. With made out of pins and needles.
Yeah.
So cool. You're the coolest worm.
Just preening in the mirror. I think at this point, I definitely wrote proud as my flaw, and I think I meant to write vain. That's what I've been playing.
And he sort of takes 2 very long steps backwards and looks at you in your entirety. Leaf is sort of just covered in about 5 goblins worth of armor, and he says, "Oh, it is perfection
Good.
itself.
Right.
Great.
Now get out of my store."
Bye.
Bye.
Well,
Do you think he usually asks people to pay for things?
Let's not ask.
Yeah, let's just go.
for star.
I was saying that yeah.
Handy Barks.
Aw.
Okay, pat him on the knuckle, I guess.
Mm.
You like your new hats. Good.
Okay. Out into the street. It's sort of getting around midday, and the crowds of goblins at markets and generally sort of going about their business, whatever it is goblins do, which, as you know, is mostly arsing about.
Yeah.
And despite the fact that you, to each other, don't look very goblin-y at all, it seems that none of the other goblins seem to recognise you.
We're working on like Disney film logic. We're
Yeah.
in different clothes, therefore no one recognises us.
Yeah.
You will you'll hear sort of what do you call it, a town crier in the distance who seems to be calling out the laws of today. The laws in Goblin City are obviously ever changing.
Right.
It's very important to have laws, and goblins believe in quantity over quality. So
Today's law is feral.
so in the distance, you will hear that at the moment, all food must be on fire. At all times, 1 foot must be off the ground.
Lots of hopping then.
I've only got 1 foot, but I'm on your shoulders, so it should be fun.
And must everything be a question?
Good laws.
Excellent, Lord. I'm going to ride on Handy so that neither of my feet are on the ground. And
Nice.
Handy doesn't have feet because
And
he's
he
a
doesn't
hand.
have feet.
So...
I'm going to fall over a lot.
Oh.
Just walking ponderously.
I'm just going to be like hopping from foot to foot.
And,
Kind
yeah,
of like I'm doing a hopscotch down the road.
the goblins around you are following suit, trying to follow the laws as best they can. From down the way, you will notice that one goblin will shout at another, "Here, 2 feet!" And a whole crowd of goblins will sort of doggy pile onto the goblin that broke the law.
And
Very
then presumably doggy pile on the first one, because he didn't phrase it as a question.
Exactly.
2 feet?
I'm just going to make a note of these laws because I'm definitely going to.
Yeah.
Okay.
All food must be on fire is so amazingly impractical for long-term, like, trade and...
Lots of
it's just,
flambe.
like, the implications are amazing.
Lots of flambe and
Does it have to still be on fire while you eat it? Because that sounds hard.
Also, Mrs. Worm can eat anything now, so everything is food. Everything has to be on
so
fire.
It's okay.
It only has to be on fire when it goes into my mouth, right?
see, getting it.
What's
Are you-
going on?
Yes.
Maybe
Yes?
I know, maybe I don't know. Do you know if I know? Yeah!
Somebody knows, do they?
Are we good at this?
Shall we play at questions?
So as you continue, you will see a sign, and the sign seems pretty loose in the ground, but the two signs are pointing generally down a couple of the streets. One says Fireworks and Co. And the other one says Iron Goblin.
Ooh.
Well-
How do we feel about fireworks?
They explode.
Very positive.
It's all food, right?
If it's on fire.
Are fireworks food? Is food fireworks if it's then on fire? Questions.
For me,
Does fire work?
I think.
Is the Iron Goblin on fire?
To put it another way, is the Iron Goblin on fire yet?
Should the Iron Goblin be on fire?
My fire went away.
Well, maybe you can get more.
There'll be fire where there's fireworks, won't there?
Do we like fire?
You like fire?
Do you need more fire? Are you coming and start going towards the fireworks?
Fireworks.
I can't resist fireworks.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
So,
Iron Goblin on fire yet.
the fireworks factory is fairly easy to find.
This can't possibly go wrong.
The reason being that you can see on top of it is a very large rocket made of red and white paper, with a great fuse sort of coming out of it. The main floor, however, seems to be filled with goblins of all types, each standing on one leg, and packing sort of gunpowder and bits into oddly shaped fireworks, each breaking their own safety standards, of course. So they don't seem to sort of notice as you guys peer around the corner.
Are they sort of hopping around with gunpowder, like
yeah.
Have any of them brought a packed lunch?
That's what I was wondering.
Mate, that's the important question here.
None of them appear to be eating at the moment.
No, but do they have their lunch with them?
Well, if you take a look, you'll see there does seem to be some sort of lunch boxes.
Are they currently on fire?
They are not currently on fire.
Will Kurt call out that it's lunchtime?
It is noon.
Yeah, that worked. All right.
Is it time for lunch? Don't tell me to do something.
Has it been lunchtime for a while?
One of the goblins will look up. He always seems to be looking about 3 feet above whoever he's speaking to, and he says, "Is it?" Another goblin will go, "It is," and everyone will look at him. Maybe. The goblins shrug. It's good enough for them. So I think all of the goblins are very tense. They know this is a dangerous situation, but also it's the law, and the law is the law. So they're going to... I think what they're actually going to do is they're going to take their lunches and waddle out of the warehouse to somewhere a little bit safer.
On the way there, they have food that is not on fire. So people are like, mustn't all food be on fire?
Give me a roll. 3+. I mean, it's
Oh,
the
damn,
law.
it's so good.
One goblin says, "What is food when it is not being eaten?"
I would like to...
Isn't it food if it's in a lunchbox? Doesn't that make it food?
Cutlery.
Philosophy.
I like to crawl down to one of the firework things and go, if it can be eaten, then it's food, right?
Yes, I think.
So this is food, right? I say, taking a bite out of one of the fireworks.
Okay, the firework you take a bite out of. So it's a big sort of stationary firework with a fuse. You take a bite. It's tangy.
Slightly metallic.
Smoky.
Yeah.
You feel like, and the sort of gunpowder sort of falls out and starts spreading sort of across the room. Oh,
This food is
fantastic!
cool.
Yeah,
Pizza.
pizzas have arrived.
Where's the fire? Someone bring me matches.
All food must be on fire.
Right?
This is exciting. Sorry, if we're all temporarily distracted by the wonder of pizza. I'm sure you can understand.
Yes. Fantastic.
Was one of those
Short
long.
one.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Distractions.
Magic. So, those of you who are watching at home, it's dinner time.
Short sword is real care off it and deeper. And don't set it on fire.
What happens with the firework?
Yeah.
So, eating a firework.
Sensible.
Yeah, sensible. I think, the firework has very little effect until you've eaten sort of most of it. You feel a little bit of indigestion, and you feel a bit of a burp coming on. And then it comes. And the rest of you will essentially see a fire-propelled worm.
Oh, perfect.
Do I shoot backwards?
Oh yeah, from the mouth forwards throughout the warehouse, knocking things over. Different fireworks are knocked over, and as you
Set on
learned
fire
with
by the
the
fire-propelled worm. That's what I want to know.
oh yes, oh yes. You'll see a mortar sort of launch in a deafening squeal, glowing lavender fog billowing out.
You think it's time we shouldn't be here?
From Mrs. Worm's mouth comes hundreds of songbirds made of fire,
Ooh.
and a big emergency break glass in case of on the wall, which appears to just contain the end of a fuse, and the fuse leads upwards into the ceiling. And that's directly what Mrs. Worm is firing towards at this moment. Unless anyone would like to...
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No. I want to know where it goes.
Yeah.
I'm not intervening.
I've got a pretty good idea where that goes.
So Mrs. Worm smacks straight into the emergency fuse, which starts an ominous hiss as it starts to light, going up.
I'd like, if I'm still burping, I'd like to try and direct my burp so that I smack into the relatively soft exterior, thorny exterior, still of Leith, who's at least the largest target to try and land.
Nice. Throw me a check. I think because it's Leaf, it'll be a 3+.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
You actually zoom straight past Leaf, then angle upwards into the sky, where you will see the great rocket on top of the warehouse. You note that the rocket is pointing towards the Goblin Castle.
Ooh.
As you launch into the sky, The goblins standing on one leg with their flambe lunchboxes, looking into the sky, marvel as an explosion of songbirds flies out, fluttering in every direction. A couple of them, and you can see one goblin who's clearly a foreman, just
Having the worst day.
literally every day.
I mean, is there any, like, I guess the fuse is lit, so there's not touch paper, there's nothing for them to grab onto. Is there like a big stick at the end of it? Although the stick doesn't usually come with the firework when it launches.
No, it just seems to be a big
old
tubular
tube.
Yeah.
You ate a firework. You don't
Yeah.
get
Yeah, you're currently sort of 100 feet in the air, having done possibly the largest burp of your life.
Can I try and get Handy to outstretch and catch her when she comes down?
Yeah.
So she doesn't
And
just
try
die.
and baseball mitt me.
Yeah.
Give me difficulty 4 for catching.
I was going to say,
No.
can I angle towards the rocket?
A 1's a 1.
Well, you give me difficulty 4 as well for angling your fall.
Okay.
But, so yeah, you manage to angle your fall towards the rocket, smack on top of it, sort of roll down, grab the sides, all very epic and dramatic. As this fuse is continuing, what do you guys do?
It's time for the castle!
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it's doing?
It's pointing at the castle.
How big is it? Can we all get on it?
Climb up the rocket.
I guess
Yeah.
how high up is it is the question.
It's on top of the building, so sort of one story up. And you reckon there's nothing to really hold on to, but if you found a way to hold
How
on to
fast is the fuse burning?
well, give me a check to work out. You've seen it burn a little bit. How long it's going to take?
6.
Okay, excellent. You have exactly 30 seconds.
Could the hand grab it like around, and then we could all hold on to the hand?
Yeah, I think
Can
that
we
would.
try and do that?
Climb on board Chekhov's
Get
rocket.
on! Chekhov's rocket.
Yes.
But,
Let us climb this building.
Yes, climb this building and get on the rocket. Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, I think jumping on Handy, you can go up the stairs around the back, make your way up, and get on top of the building
Sure.
easily enough. Handy. Even I keep on saying Handsy, which is not the right
No.
the right name.
Slightly the wrong word.
Grabs onto it, maybe angles it a little bit towards the goblin castle, trying to eyeball it, despite the fact that he doesn't have eyeballs. And you hear the cheer of goblins from below going, 5, 4, 3,
Start crying.
On the handsy with the rest of them.
2,
Are those questions?
1.
Maybe.
What? Blast off. And your whole world becomes speed as you launch outwards and upwards in a parabolic flight
Very high
leading you
pitched wail
straight
that you realise is Sir Robin halfway through the flight.
towards the Goblin Castle.
Thanks for watching our video. If you'd like to learn more, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. You can also like and subscribe to be told when we've released new videos.
Come join our band of privateers at Flintlocks and Fireballs, a British 5th edition D&D actual play podcast in the unique Napoleonic setting of Calcinia. Follow our halfling gundad, anachronistic rock star, and sugar-fueled child sorcerer as they sing original sea shanties, topple governments, haggle with hags, and weep bitter, bitter tears. New episodes every Tuesday.